Big family, little pantry. Where do I keep all the food? G'day and thanks for stopping by. My name is Jenny and I'm an Aussie mum of 16 children. Now half of those kids still live at home and half have already grown and moved out, which means that at any meal time I could be feeding 10 people or I could be feeding 25 plus people, just depending on who's called past for a visit. So it's really important to me to keep a fully stocked fridge and freezer and a fully stocked pantry. Now every so often I would use up all the food that I have here to make sure I'm turning over my stock and making sure that nothing goes off or goes bad, because we don't want to waste any food and we don't want to waste any money. I will use up what we have and then I will go and do an enormous big stock up afterwards and refill everything. It also is a great opportunity to clean out your appliances and your cupboards, give them a good wipe down, make sure that there's no pests in there or any dust or dirt, and then you can put all the food back in. And it gives you the opportunity to write a list of what you have in there. Now, when we first started off, we had a little tiny cupboard that we used to keep our food in, and then we extended our house. I think we had 5 children at the time, was pregnant with number 6, and we figured we needed more space, so we did an extension on the house and we put in this kitchen. Now when we designed this kitchen, we put in this corner pantry and we thought, wow, so much space, we'll be able to put so much food in there. But we had no idea that our family was going to grow to such a mega size. Not many people end up with 16 children. Looking back now, if we'd have known we were going to have so many children, would we have changed the kitchen design? Yeah, possibly. But we were also using the space that we had from the extension for extra bedrooms for the kids. We still had what we considered a big kitchen back then, and we've used it ever since. We've never changed it, and I've just become very, very good at Tetris packing my pantry and my cupboards. And the kids even joke about it sometimes. It's like, yep, mum's done the shopping, now watch her Tetris pack the pantry, fit everything in there, and you know, even though it looks impossible to get so much food in there. Now, if you are going to tightly pack any cupboard with food, you need to have a list. So I was telling you about my pantry book. It's just an exercise book, so it's just lined paper in a little book that I keep. Now, what I do with that is, let me find a page here. I just write what's on each shelf and put a number beside it. That way I can just scribble the number out as we use things, write it down, and then I can add that item to my grocery list. That makes it really easy to make the grocery list, and it also keeps me informed of what's still in the pantry. And then I can move those items forward, we can use them up, and I can put them into my meal plans. Now, as I said in the previous videos, fridges, freezers, pantries, all of those things. Look, it's great to see them online and look at all the pretty kitchens and the pretty walk-in pantries. And I like to watch them as much as the next person does. But I also look at them and I think, wow, I could get so much more food into them, because I'm more interested in having a clean and functional kitchen than to have a showroom kitchen. I'm all about trying to make sure that I have supplies handy for my family. Now, what we've all been through in the last couple of years, where we couldn't get our hands on groceries, we couldn't get to the store and buy what we wanted to buy, and there were limits on everything, it made life really difficult. So I think it's important to make sure that you keep some supplies at home, which means that unless you have tons of space in your house that you can spare for that kind of thing, you're just like me. I have to utilize every little bit of space that I have, and I'm going to pack it in there as tightly as I can. Now, our pantry was looking just a little bit sad. It's had a lot of use, a lot of people moving food items in and out of there all the time. All the edges had cracked and some bits had fallen off and it was looking really scrappy. So I asked hubby if we could do something about that. We weren't sure whether we had to replace a shelf or if it could be fixed, but I mean, I'm all about repurposing, recycling, repairing things. I thought if we can just repair it, that would be fantastic. So we went on a bit of a hunt to find some shelf edging, and I was amazed how much of a difference that made to how the pantry looked. Now the pantry was still functional, obviously, but it's nice to have clean shelves and a nice area to work in. So we got this edge stripping, and it was a little bit fiddly to put on, but the difference it made was phenomenal. And do you know how cheap it was to do that job? $12.50. $12.50 for a roll, and we probably only used half that roll, and it just changed the whole feel of the pantry. Every time I open it up now, I don't see all the split bits and the missing parts off the edge of the shelves. It's all nice and clean and white again. So that was a great job to do. As I said, it was a little bit fiddly, it was a little time consuming, but it was very cheap to do. It repaired what was there, and we could do it ourselves. Can you repeat what you just said?
I think you're onto it, Jenny Bonell, how the technique to do this, and you're a smart lady.
Perfect. I'll treasure that forever. Now we also had to change the containers. Just pulling them in and out, and just plastic ages and will break after a while. We've used those same containers, you know, for the last 20 years, so it was time to get some new ones and throw the broken ones out. And having lots of kids here in the house, that's going to happen. Kids will pull things in and out of pantries and cupboards. Sometimes they end up dropped on the floor and they will break. So I went searching for the containers, couldn't get the same brand, of course. So I found some that are very, very similar, but they are slightly different sizes, which means that although for the last 20 years everything has sat in the same spot in the pantry, a few things are going to have to move around because they don't fit on the same shelf anymore. I don't know why they changed the sizing of everything. I just get everything organized in my house where I like it, and then all those containers disappear and something new comes out, and then it doesn't fit the same. And that drives me just a little bit crazy some days. So although we still have the grandbabies coming to the house to visit, my baby's 8, so we probably eat a little bit differently. We don't eat as many snack foods and little packets that little fingers can carry around in the house. Some of the items that I used to keep stocked in the house, I don't bother with as many anymore, and some other things, of course, we need more. I'm going to have to move a few things around in the pantry, and look, I'm a creature of habit. I like things where I put things, and I'm not great at change. So it's going to take me a little while to decide where everything has to go in the pantry, and then try and remember that I have moved those things, because I recently cleaned out under the kitchen sink and I moved a few things around, and we put some little drawers down in there, and I moved the bin liners, and I kept telling the kids, look, the bin liners are now in the little drawer under the sink. Make sure next time you're doing bins that that's where you go to get the bin liners. And to this day, I am still reminding people that the bin liners are under the sink, not in the other cupboard. So it does take a little while to change some habits and know that they're in different spots. So I'm sure the pantry is going to be exactly the same, and it's going to take us a little while to realize, okay, you know, biscuits are not shelf 3 anymore, they're shelf 4, and this has been moved around as well. So it could be a little bit confusing for a while, but look, it's still a great opportunity to clean out the pantry, and I don't have much choice because I have to put the containers where they will fit. I'm hoping that as children move out of our home, that I will have the opportunity to take back maybe one of the bedrooms and turn it into a storage room and a walk-in pantry. That would be amazing, to have a little bit more space and to be able to spread it out so I can see it much more easily. And I think I'm a stockpiler at heart. I think I'll always be keeping a good supply of food and household items just in case we need them, or if the family comes home for a meal, I like to be prepared for that. I'm going to make a grocery list as I work my way through the pantry. I will be writing in the pantry book to tell me what's in the cupboard. From there, I will then say, okay, look, this is what I've already got on my grocery list, and these are extra items that I'm finding as I'm cleaning through the pantry. Then once I have that list together, my grocery list is always done in sections so that it's easy to find in the grocery store. And then I'm going to have to do the most enormous grocery shop. I'm not really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the stocking up the pantry side of it, but the actual going and having to buy it and bring it all home and sort it all out and put it away, yeah, not looking forward to that quite so much. Now, I know when I go to do my shopping that it's going to cost me a lot of money. I'm going to have to sit down first, look at my budget, because groceries are the one part of the budget that's fluid, isn't it? I mean, we have our bills that we have to pay, the amount that we have to pay. That's as simple as that. But the groceries is where we can shift it a little bit and be a bit more flexible. And sometimes you're eating way better and sometimes you're eating on the cheap. So that happens to all of us. It doesn't matter who you are. But I know I'm going to have to check my budget and then go and do a really big shop. And it's going to be expensive. Now, lots of folks often ask me, do I shop at Costco? I have never been to Costco. We don't have one in town here, but I am looking forward to going to one day. It's just where there's a little bit of travel involved, so I just have to be able to pick a day where I can perhaps get the kids to school and then do the travel, do the shop, then get back in time to pick them up from school, or if it's on a weekend, you know, I might grab some friends and go down and do a shop then. I'm going to clean out this pantry, make my grocery list, and then I will bring you along to do the grocery haul. It may take me a little while. If I don't have kids that can go with me to do the groceries, I may have to do it in a couple of shops, just so that I can manage the trolleys and getting all the gear here to the house and unpacked again. I have got a sore wrist at the moment that is making things just a little bit more difficult. It's nothing serious. It's just a cyst that I have in my wrist, and I thought it had gone away and it's come back and causing quite a bit of pain in there, and just keeping it strapped and immobilized as much as I can helps it out. But, you know, as mums, we continue to power on through, don't we? And we probably need to be able to step back, take some rest, make sure that we are well, especially with health issues, whether even if they're small health issues, and we probably need to give ourselves just a little bit more grace when it comes to taking some time to recover from anything or to feel better. I'm going to give myself a little bit of grace and take things a little bit slower with my wrist, and I hope any other mums out there that are facing any health challenges at the moment, that you take a little bit of time to look after yourself as well. Oh, I better go. I didn't realize what the time was, so I've got places to be and things to do and kids to pick up. So I'm going to run, but thanks for watching today, and stick around because I will be doing that big giant grocery haul that will be coming up. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss it, and I'll see you next time. God bless.